What is up, my beautiful people? This is your host again, Limitless, and this is that show as usual. You already know what the vibes is. We talk about politics, economics, and propaganda. You understand what I'm saying? Let's get right into it. You know what we always do? We have a look at the market, see what it's saying, we see the manipulation, but we know there's nothing we can do about it. The only thing we can really do is to get everyone in the world to stop spending Federal Reserve notes. So, or simply put, central bank notes. So, if we look at the market right now, the U.S. Stock market, we can see, of course, they're all green, and we can see commodity lost a bit of points there, which of course we understand. When commodity goes up, stock market goes down. When stock market goes down, commodity goes up. So it's nothing new. And of course, if we look at the dollar, we can see that the dollar index is down. Of course, which is another factor of why the market is in the green today, or shall I say, right at this moment. And if we look in the European market as well, we're pretty much seeing the same green, and it's nothing new. Asian market, Asian market don't really follow too tough, doesn't have too much correlation with the Western market, which is a good thing, So those are indicators to keep your eye out for. And of course, if we look at the yields, all the 10-year yields are pretty much up, but again, nothing too significant. All right, because we know there's still money going into the debt market, and that's why those yields aren't up too tough. So right now we can see they've done 1.5 trillion in quantitative easing. Hey, it's the print the money. We already know what that is. We don't need to go too tough into that. And of course, if we look at volatility index, the VIX versus everything else, the stock market and crypto, we can see there's a correlation. Anytime the VIX go down, market goes up. It's a simple, very, very simple. Very, very, very simple. All right. So currently, we have a look at the crypto market. We can see in the last 24 hours, we've made you know, uh, some gains. I mean, they're not significant, but it's still gains at the end of the day. But if you look on the 7 days, we can see majority is still in the reds. Don't be fooled by the 24 hours. You understand what I'm saying? It could be green, it could be red. Look at the 7 days. You want to look at long term, and if you want to even see what's going on, if you want to be sure, zoom out a bit even further, and you'll see exactly which direction the market is going. And currently, we're just trading sideways. Nothing too significant here. So let's move on to a bit of news. We've got McDonald's temporarily closes 850 restaurants in Russia nearly 2 weeks after Putin's forces invaded Ukraine. Now, the key word here we need to all know is temporarily. Okay, they didn't shut down. They're not leaving Russia. It's just temporarily. Again, this tells you it's a movie. They're not really looking to make uh example of Putin or anyone in any way, shape, or form. It's all a movie. You understand what I'm saying? The media's been telling us, oh, the Russians are fighting Ukrainian civilians and their little army and that. But if you go online, you will see the same playbook that the West have used in the East, where they sponsor, militia groups to go into a country and destabilize it or to fight against the ruling power within that country. It's the same thing they're doing in Russia. They paying all sorts of militias from all across the world, especially from the Western world, to basically go into Ukraine and fight. So you think to yourself, who are they really sending these weapons, and who are they giving all these billions and billions of pounds and dollars in aid packages to? They're paying militias, nothing more. If you understand what's going on, you won't be too fussed. And one thing we need to know is, just off of the back of this, the market is gonna go much much higher. It's just a cool off period. Let's just wait and see what's gonna happen. And of course, remember the commodities, the tech stocks, the banking stocks. We want to get involved and position ourselves well, because it's gonna be very profitable. Next, we've got crypto platform blocks thousands of Russia-linked wallets. Now, crypto is supposed to be a peer-to-peer transaction. It's supposed to get rid of the middleman, the government, to the point where they can't exactly have a say in what's going on. Of course, if someone's using their wallet for illicit activities, they deserve to be banned and whatnot. But just outright, you know, blocking thousands of Russia-linked wallets, it just shows that we're still in a centralized uh, democracy. We're not in a decentralized system whereby people actually have a say in what goes on. You understand what I'm saying? Whether they live within a nation uh, that's been subjected to sanctions from other nations that don't agree with what's going on. But we know it's all a movie. You understand what I'm saying? It's all a movie. None of these things, crypto or whatever, is decentralized. You just have to do research and look at who's funding all these different projects. And you see that it's the banks, it's the hedge funds, the same people. Nothing new. It's the same corporations within the current legacy system that's sponsoring, the crypto project. Anyways, let's hit the intro and then get right back to it. Welcome back, everyone. This is your host again, Limitless. Peace, love, and light to every single one of you out there. You already know what we do. Please share with your friends, family, and loved ones. All right, because if 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 we don't understand what's going on, how the world actually work, we fall for all the different rules and crisis and distraction they throw at us. So it's very, very important that we understand the game plan. So we stop falling for the devil's trick, basically. You understand? So moving on, we've got highest prices increase at fastest annual pace since 2007 as property values jump by almost 11%. Now we know, if you ask the question, they'll say, "Oh, it's because the demand is high. People want to buy houses." Guys, the demand is not high. Okay? We've got the central banks buying mortgage backed securities at an alarming rate. They are the one creating the artificial demand. Okay? Hence why the price is going up. You see, the root cause of all the problem all goes back to money printing. Printing money that's not actually circulating in the hands of the people. It's being concentrated to one specific place. You understand what I'm saying? Either that's in, these big corporations that they control, or they buy mortgage backed securities like this. And we know the central bank's agenda is to be the lender of last resort. If you don't know what that term means, go look it up. Lender of last resort. They want to own everything. World Economic Forum already told us you own nothing, but you will be happy. You understand? Because they're gonna create this illusion of, oh, we're all equal, nobody owns anything, everyone's got access. No, no, that can only last for 10, 20 years until they show their real hands on what they're really about. You understand what I'm saying? These people want to own you. You know, they don't just want to own the property, they want to own you. They want to own the entire planet. All right? So, moving on, we've got private equity deals made by the mega rich hits highest in a decade. Now, private equity is basically, you know, um, investment in private companies. So in companies that aren't on publicly traded exchange. You understand what I'm saying? They aren't publicly traded in any way. So what this is telling us is there's a lot of a lot of backdoor deals going on. Okay. Now we can't necessarily say this is being made by the mega rich. Okay, we'll have to look. I haven't really looked into the statistics to really make an informed opinion as to who's actually doing what. But my best guess would be that this mega rich they're referring to, you know, it'll be private equity firms being funded by unknown entities that basically, you know, that basically give their money to fund uh, private companies. And this, how can I put it? These unknown customers will not necessarily be uh, individuals or mega rich. You know, it could just be another big corporation. You understand what I'm saying? It could be any entity. It could be a corporation. It could be a person. Don't get me wrong. You know, it could be government, but we don't know who it is. So, you know, this is letting you know right here. There's a there's a lot of money being funneled through the back door, basically, and we just need to pay attention. We need to find out where all that money is coming from and which private companies they're going into, and see whether this private company have any uh, standing within the fourth industrial revolution. You understand? So moving on, we've got Russia warns west of $300 oil prices and gas supply cuts if countries impose energy sanction. Obviously, we're reading this, but we know it's already happened. They've imposed the sanction, but the guy clearly told us what's going on. You see, they always tell you they ask what's gonna happen based on the decisions they're making or whatever it is they want to do next. They tell you. That's why if the media says, "Oh, Biden or blah blah is likely to do this," you best believe it's coming. You just best believe it's coming. You understand what I'm saying? You'd rather prepare yourself and it not happening than thinking, nah, it's not gonna do that. It's not that stupid. But it's not about stupid. It's about an agenda that they have to carry out. That's just all it is. You understand what I'm saying? So now we've got UK bans all Russian oil imports from end of 2022. You see, it's funny. It's like, nope, end of 2022, then we'll ban this whole thing. It's an agenda. You see, if Russia is really the boogeyman they're making Russia to be, again, I'm not siding Russia or anyone. I don't care because I know how this whole thing is playing out, what the agenda is exactly. Okay, we understand the sustainability agenda they've been crying about for years now. You understand what I'm saying? This is to push you towards that. They're gonna make your life so difficult, right? Only the fittest will survive. Okay, so end of 2022. Why not now? Why not now? And mind you, none of these Western countries produce uh, produce the amount of oil they consume. They've all got oil deficit, energy deficit, which means they're all importing from somewhere around the world to meet the remaining demand required for, on a yearly, on an annual basis. So we need to understand that this, and when you ask them, what's the backup? You start hearing them talk about stuff like, oh, maybe you should now. It's the time to look into getting that electric car. Maybe now is the time you should look into, putting up solar panel, or getting a heat pump. You know, all the sort of shit they want to sell you. The direction they want you to move in. They start suggesting it, and you gotta understand when someone deliberately create a problem and they're giving you the solution straight away, you should think to yourself, right, hold on a minute, it seems like you've had this all planned out. And that's exactly what it is. They've had it all planned out. If you listen to the Biden speech when he was talking about banning Russian oil, he did mention it was like, you know, a lot of uh, he said there will be price increase, but that can be alleviated by people, going on electric vehicles and stuff like that. But we know there's a lot of issues with uh, the charging infrastructure right now. It's not perfect, and I'm not saying it won't get better. Yeah, it will get better, but you can tell they're forcing this technology so quickly without it being actually ready. You understand what I'm saying? It's not ready. We, I mean, even the battery technology is not there yet. You understand what I'm saying? So, expect high prices of food, of everything, because remember, we make almost 7,000 products using, crude oil. 7,000 products. So, if the price of crude oil goes up, you best believe the price of everything else will go up. Okay, and again, this still all comes back to the money printing. All right. Next, we've got inflation to accelerate far ahead of Bank of England's target as rate hikes loom. Guys, they've never ever met their target. If you go back to all the previous videos, we've always looked at Bank of England and the inflation target. They barely change it, and they've gone past their target since early 2020 or even before then. You understand what I'm saying? They're telling us that inflation is at 5.5% on their website. But we know that that's not right. That's not true. It's just not true. You just have to look at how much your bill's gone up by, how much you're paying for fuel, how much your weekly or monthly shopping is gone up by. Do the maths. And however increase that is, that's how much inflation is right now. Okay? You can average it across all the different stuff that you buy, and get an average figure. But inflation is not 5.5%. It's higher than that, guys. All right? So rhetoric like this really irritates me. You understand? Moving on to some more, economic news, the future economy of the world, which is the digital economy. We've got President Biden to sign executive order on ensuring responsible development of digital assets. Outlines first all of government strategy to protect consumers. So this is what we're waiting for, okay? Because right now, if you lose your money, if the exchanges get hacked, nobody's paying you back. Financial stability, making sure the system is robust, not gonna be hacked. There ain't gonna be no tomfoolery type shit going on, national security, and address climate risks. So essentially, all this proof of work coins, they're going, okay? Proof of work was nice, yes, when blockchain technology was developing, but now it's all about proof of stake. Even Ethereum's they're gonna move to proof of stake very very soon. You know, so just pay attention to what's going on, guys. Okay, so read this whole article. It pretty much tells you, each of the headings of the different segment they're trying to attack. But we know we're close to this whole thing going live. We know the ISO timeline is this year. The official implementation begins this year. We know some countries in the East, in South America, in Africa already live. We know that already. Okay, and a lot of those countries are part of the BRIC nation. If you don't know what the BRIC nation is, that's an assignment for you. Go look it up. Okay. So moving on, we've got Janet Yellen, U.S. Treasury, other departments will publish report on money under Biden crypto executive order. Yeah, we know they'll take several months, but we know it's bullshit. You see, a lot of these art reports and all that, it's already ready, but they just give you that illusion that, oh, we're working on it, we're working on it. They're not working on shit, guys. They're done. Everything is done, complete, sealed, stamped, ready to go. But they gotta give you this illusion that things are playing out organically. No, things aren't playing out organically. They're pushing it. They're forcing it. All right. I mean, look how fast technology is advanced over the years, and technology is about to even advance at a faster rate than anyone can ever imagine, due to artificial intelligence and machine learning. All right, algorithms and stuff like that. Technology is gonna advance so quick. By the time we're you know in our old age, we're gonna be amazed and be like, wow, the world, this is a different world. You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna see driverless cars in the street in the next 5-10 years, guaranteed. Just everywhere, driverless. Okay, and we know there's a lot of issues with automation that they're not discussing, but because of the agenda, nobody cares right now. Okay, until those issues start to come up, and then they'll use those issues to further other agendas. So next, we've got Federal Reserve works with China, with China's blockchain ally for instant payment. The United States Federal Reserve is moving forward with its real-time payment project FedNow service by starting experimenting with the blockchain infrastructure. Guys, how is the Fed, which is United States of America's central bank, how are they already, you know, experimenting with blockchain infrastructure and already partnering up and ready to launch in 2023? And Biden is talking about, I'm going to sign an executive order to ensure responsible development of digital asset. Like what? It's been done. It's done. And this report, what report? I mean, what report? This is like experimenting. They I wouldn't even call this experimenting. All right? The Fed officially launched the FedNow service provider showcase, aiming to provide financial institutions and users with a range of services to help them implement FedNow service, which launches in 2023. You see, they're in the building stage. They already getting all the players, all the corporation businesses. They're already building the digital infrastructure. They're already getting their people in position. Okay, that doesn't sound like something you're just looking into. Okay, that doesn't even sound like experimenting to me anymore. That just sounds like shit, shit. Moving on. All right, the building. That's why it's important to take your time to read and look at the words carefully. You understand what I'm saying? So right now, we can see they're working with China's blockchain ally for instant payment. Guys, we know that the Chinese digital yuan, that's the new world reserve currency coming. Okay, the same way the British pound knocked out the French franc out of the way, and then the United States dollars knocked out the British pound out of the way, is the same way the Chinese digital yuan is gonna knock the dollar out of the way. But one thing we need to understand is There's a geographical power shift. It's important to understand that. Okay, all the previous one from Netherlands to France to UK to United States, those were all still in the West. Those were power shift just happening within the Western Hemisphere. But now it's completely shifting out of the West to the East. Guys, you can expect major turmoils, major crisis. Need I say more on that? Okay. Right here, we've got the EU proposed pilot regime for digital security infrastructure, a game changer for security tokens. Guys, you need to understand what security is. If I give you money, right? If I invest in your company or I invest in anything you're doing or whatever, right? The money I give you will be considered a security because I've given it to you on the basis that I'm gonna get a return. You understand what I'm saying? So it will be considered security. All right. So right here, this article by Linklaters, which is one of the biggest law firms in Europe, they basically, they came on the news the other day, and then I was like, I'm sure these guys are part of the old shenanigans going on. You get me? So look at that pilot regime for DLT based market infrastructure. Okay, they're already building. They're already building. Okay, we don't need to be reading these articles and think, oh, they just no, they're already building. And right now, the reason why the timeline of everyone going online is like 2025 latest is because they're gonna give everyone the time to fully set up and you know test their system to make sure yes we're good to go. Because once they push the button, the legacy system, the legacy market, everything's getting ported over onto blockchain. Everything gonna be on the blockchain. Okay, regulatory clarity, you know, binding, non-binding guidance, targeted amendment, a pilot regime, eligibility, all of these things. It's all about you know controlling how the infrastructure is being built. And right here, they tell you eligible securities. So any company with market capitalization of less than 200 million euros, you understand what I'm saying, can jump on at the moment. And any company, and this was in 2020, remember. That's why I said they didn't just start looking into this now. They've been looking. The pilot phase have started as early as 2019. Yes, when Corona started, as early as 2019. Okay, and then when it comes to like bonds and all sorts of bond, either public or private, any value below 500 million euros can be tokenized. So guys, understand it's happening. It's happening, but they're not telling you exactly how they're doing it. They want you to. They're making you think, they're still working through it, but nope, they're good. Next, we've got the Philippines to launch pilot CBDC implementation. So, BSP Governor Benjamin Diakno says that the goal of the project is to enhance the payment system safety, resiliency, and efficiency. A lot of these emerging markets, we know the aim is to get them up and running before all these already emerged market, which is in the West, are to come on. So we know the agenda already. Next, we've got Central Bank of Brazil selects partners to assist with CBDC. So again, we're in the building phase. We have all these different organizations and tech companies coming up, private, public. It don't matter. That's why right here, where was the article? Private equity deals made by the mega rich hit highest in decade. That's because we're in a technological revolution. So there are a lot of companies that aren't even public yet, but they're there right now. And these are the companies that's gonna flip a lot of the companies that we have in the current legacy system, because they just won't be needed because everything will be automated. So if you wanna open a business, open a tech firm right now. Tracking drones, set up a shop where you can track drones and all sorts of shit. You're gonna make a lot of money. So anyways, guys, keep all of that in mind. And obviously, for the month of March, we know Bitcoin backed is going to be expiring in 15 days. So, again, for all you traders out there, this is a good indicator to trade around. It's so easy. I don't trade, I just hodl. All right, I just hodl. So, we know backed is going to expire in 15 days on the 24th of March. And then right after that, we have Bitcoin futures and Bitcoin micro futures, Ethereum futures, and Ethereum micro futures, all expiring the day after. So again, as we know, the open interest, um, all that is showing us is how many people is interested in this asset, and the only thing it doesn't tell us is whether majority of those people are buying or selling. You understand what I'm saying? Of course, you can go into more details and find out the notional value of the open interest, which side is more towards the buy or sell, you know, and figure out which way you want to swing the market. But as you can see here, this is just like a consolidation, like it's just, you know, but we'll see how the market goes. Anyways, guys, that's all I've got for you. Um, I'm gonna be bringing more and more content, but for now, we just all need to understand the basics, because you know the truth is so much harder for people to grasp, but people gravitate more towards lies. If I was lying to you guys, people would get it straight away. People would be, oh shit, yeah, I get it, even though I'm lying. You know what I'm saying? But the truth, it's not something. Even me, when I first started learning all this stuff, it took me a while to understand a lot of these things and understand how the market actually work. Everything is propped up, guys. It's all monopoly. Fake. Fake. I mean, our money is debt money. The entire world economy is based on a credit system, a debt-based system. If I give you credit, that means you owe me. All right. I'm secured. I'm a secured party. Okay, it's a security if I'm giving you credit. You understand what I'm saying? So the entire system is based off of credit, and that's why they constantly want to give you credit, give you loans, give you all sorts, so they can make exorbitant interest out of you. You understand what I'm saying? So, anyways, guys, please share with your friends, family, and loved ones, and let's remember that uh, everything we're doing now is also we can shield ourselves from the from the world they're trying to build. Okay, we don't need to rely on the government, and trust me, the government was not set up to take care of the people. Every single person should take care of themselves. That's all it's about. Life ain't a joke. Okay, life is for the taking by the braves. And if you're not brave, then you're gonna get taken by someone else. Anyways, peace, love, and light to you all out there. Share the thing. You know what it is. Peace.